What's up, YouTube? We have a beautiful day here today in Southwest Michigan, and today I got the gold cube and trommel out, and I am out at Athens by the river. So gonna meet a few people out here today and do a little bit of Michigan gold mining. The pond is looking pretty low, so I'm gonna have to hunt around, find a good spot to set up the cube, and then we'll run some material. See if we can find some good gold today. I'm going to lose a little bit of time due to technical difficulties today, unfortunately. I'm hoping that it's just because of how low the water is that my pump is having a hard time getting the volume that I need at such a steep angle that it's having to pump. So somebody just got over here with a gas pump, and they're going to start filling this pond up. I'm hoping that once the water level rises that I'll be able to get the volume that I need to run the cube. Otherwise, I'm really going to regret not bringing an extra pump. I've tried two different batteries, so I know it's not the battery. It's definitely the pump. There we go. Help is on the way. I'm hoping to get a little bit more flow here once the water level rises a bit more, but I think I have enough to at least start. So I'm going to start running some material. We're going to see how we do. Alright, first scoop. Nice dry scoop. Alright. And we're off to the races, ladies and gentlemen. Kind of work in this area that looks like somebody else had grabbed quite a bit of material from before. Hopefully they did quite well, because I'm kind of banking on that being a good spot. We'll do at least a top tray clean out here in a few minutes. Make sure we're finding something, make it worth our while. Okay. About to do a clean out real quick on this. I'm just going to go ahead and do all three levels of it. I did lower the stand quite a bit. I'm hoping that lowering the stand will help it draw water a little bit easier, give it less distance to have to pull that water up. So let's clean up and see what we have. There we go. I classified it out. That's what we have on our first clean out for cons. There's quite a bit of black sand in there underneath all that lighter stuff. So let me walk that back, and we'll see how we're looking. So far, 3 pieces of color. That's what I seen in that clean out. I don't know if you can see that there right at the tip of my finger, but there is one piece that's big enough to pick up with the camera. Not as much as I was hoping for. Better than nothing, but still hoping to find some better gold here. So I am actually gonna eye up another spot of the pile and start digging a new hole. There we go. Feel like that's slightly more water flow than what we did have. Still not 100% perfect, but it's definitely better with that stand being lowered a little bit. I'm gonna start a fresh hole right here. This doesn't look like this has been touched yet, so I'm going to chart new ground here. It looks like people have gone on that side, which is where I was digging, and over on that side, but nobody's gone straight through this way. So we're going to cut a hole into there and see if there's any gold in there. I apologize if that gas pump is pretty loud, but I wanted to show you guys, I really love these big flat rocks like this that have a groove kind of in them, because depending on how they were sitting, very probable that gold and other heavies settled on the top of this. So I like to break all the stuff out of those spots on that flat rock. You see how it's like almost like a little dish. I like to envision it's just a plate of gold waiting to be washed off. I just ran across a really nice pudding stone here. That is definitely coming home with me. It's got a really cool band running through it right there too. Sweet. I've got about an hour left to run here. before I'm going to pack it in for the day. So I'm just going to keep running the cube and trommel hard, and we'll go through the cons when I get back home. That first clean out wasn't super impressive, but I've run quite a bit of material since then, and I'm hoping that we'll have some decent gold in the cleanup. Whew. It sure is a hot day for being October. It's direct sun, mid to upper 80s. All this shoveling, you sure do work up a sweat. So at least I got some buddies out here to share in the toil. I decided to come back up and dig out of this some more. And I've hit this weird layer of like, it's like a real soft like clay. Feels like clay, but anyway. I was talking to somebody and they had said that whoever had worked that area last time did quite well. So I am going to put my faith in what they're saying there, and I'm going to run a little bit of that. See if we can't replicate some of their success and get some of that good gold. Yeah, clay here is so easy to break apart. It's really nice. All right. Okay. Gonna do a few more shovelfuls. Let that cube run for a minute, and then we're gonna do a cleanup, and we'll see how much gold we have when I get it all run through the cleanup sluice at home. All right. Just put my last shovelful for the day in. Gonna let that cube run for a minute. I'm just gonna kind of take a minute and rest. It's been a lot of work shoveling out there in this heat. So anyhow, we're gonna get this concentrates back home, and we're gonna get them cleaned up, and I'm excited to see how much gold we ended up with today. I'm hoping we have some decent sized pieces in there. All right, we're back home, and here I have all the Athens concentrates in this pan here with a spoon. We got the cleanup buddy over here that we're about to run. And then in this pan, I have some concentrates from the other day when I got invited to go out to a creek with a buddy, kind of his little special spot that he wanted to take me to. And man, I think I did pretty well out there. So I'm excited to clean up the concentrates from there. A few hours worth of hand panning concentrates that I got here. So I know that this is going to have pretty good gold in it. Not sure how much we're going to have in the Athens one, since I only did the one clean out, but I'm hopeful that there'll be some decent gold in here as well. So let's run this through and see what we're dealing with. We have the bubbles worked out of the mat, a little bit of jet dry in the water. I think we're ready for our first spoonful. We'll run the Athens stuff first and see how that turns out. Just go nice and low and slow. Keep meaning to get a condiment container for this. Somebody left a comment a while ago, suggested that I use a condiment container, kind of like a ketchup dispenser, to just kind of drip feed the cons into the sluice. I thought that was a great idea. I just have not gotten over to the dollar store with the presence of mind to get one yet. So that is definitely on the to-do list. So we're gonna run these cons, and hopefully we'll end up with some good gold. We're a little bit more than halfway done, and then we'll do a cleanup, and we'll see how the Athens run looked. And then what I'm really excited for is to get into this next pan here. Even though there's less concentrates, I guarantee there will be more gold. I was hand panning there, so I've seen a lot more of what I was actually getting than I do when I'm running the cube. So I'm really confident in that cleanup. I'd love to be surprised to the picker out of this Athens run, but I'm not gonna count on that, that's for sure. I'll take what I can get. All right, that pan is finished off. I'm gonna let that run for another little bit and clear out some of the lighter debris. And then we're gonna get it over here into my favorite pan, and we're gonna see how much gold we ended up with from Athens. Boy, that sure does reduce it down good. Okay, we'll walk that back and see what we're dealing with here. If I can get that to focus in good there. All in all, not too bad. Quite a few pieces, actually. I was thinking, based on that first clean out, that we weren't going to end up with too much, but there's a few chunky little pieces in there, and then quite a few small pieces in there too. Some nice fine flour. So sweet. I am actually, like I'd said, I'm actually more impressed with that than what I anticipated. So that's good. I'll snuffer that up, and we're going to move on to this next batch here, and we're going to see how much gold we have in that pan. That one I'm really excited about. I know that there's a pretty decent sized piece that should be in there that I saw when I was panning. So let's get that cleaned up and see what that looks like. Okay, we got the sluice all cleaned out. I even emptied out the tailings pan because I'm going to go back through the tailings at a later date. Got this pan all cleaned out. Everything should be a nice clean point. No cross-contamination here. And I just want a real good indicator of how that spot was. I was real lucky to have my buddy take me out there. It's kind of his own personal spot. So I will not divulge the location of it, but it was a pretty awesome spot. And I am really excited to see how much gold we end up with out of this. First spoonful. Make sure we don't get any drips here. Here goes nothing. I love this little cleanup buddy sluice. It definitely comes in handy. Super fast to set up, and the catch rate on it's pretty good. As long as, like with any cleanup sluice, you don't overfeed it. Let everything clear out before you go loading the mat up too heavy. I actually have an affiliate link in the description of this video if you're interested in picking up one of these cleanup buddies, or really anything from Prospector's Dream. If you use the affiliate link, it'll get you $5 off your order. So if you're interested in that, check that out. It'll be in the description of this video. Alright. This ought to take me a few minutes. There's significantly less cons in this pan. So we're going to run that all down, we're going to clean it out, and we're going to see how much gold we have in there. I mentioned that this right here is my favorite gold pan. I am not kidding. I have two of these things, and these suckers are really awesome. So this is the pan that you get when you get a GPA membership, which I'm pretty sure you could probably buy these off their website, but it's called the Gold Catcher. This one here is kind of unique. It's got the little nub on it. It's like they didn't clip the gate off of it when it was molded, and so it kind of gave it a little dimple impression in here, which I actually kind of like, because if I'm walking down a little bit of gold, a lot of times it'll trap there and it won't go all the way down with all the rest of the lighter stuff. But yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know what your guys' favorite pans are. The Gold Catcher here, this one's my personal favorite. I just feel like I have a lot of control with the big wide bottom that it has. A lot of control walking it back and getting the gold separated. So yeah, let me know what your favorite pan is. I know that there's a ton of them out there. I'm pretty sure I can see that nice piece in that pocket right there. So got a few more spoonfuls left to go, and we'll do our clean out, and I'm excited to see what's in here. Moment of truth. Got that all cleaned out, running through. We're gonna clean it out into this pan here now in just a minute, once I let some of this lighter stuff wash off. Okay, so let's get the tailings pan out of the way here. Bring this bad boy over, pop that mat out of there, put it into there, and then we'll give this a nice good rinse. There we go. That ought to do pretty good. Got a good old rinse in that pan. And there is jet dry in this water, so that ought to help keep that gold from wanting to ride on the surface tension of the water. There we go. It looks pretty well cleaned out. Got it reduced down to a nice small amount here. So I will get that all worked over to the one side. We'll stratify it really good, and then I will walk it back and we'll see what we're looking like in this pan. I don't even hardly have that much walked back yet. I'm already seeing really good gold in the corner there. I knew that this was going to be good because, like I said, I hand panned it out and I could see the gold in every pan as I was putting it into the cons bucket. So I know that this is going to be good. So let's finish walking this back and we're going to see what it looks like. That is a pretty incredible amount of gold there for the short amount of time that I spent panning that out. That is really awesome, actually. That is super impressive. Let me see if I can get that in there a little bit better. I got it all spread out right now. As you can see, there's a little bit of black sand there. I hadn't finished completely separating it yet. Right now, I'm going to finish getting that last little bit of black sand walked back. I'm sure I walked a few of the smaller colors back, so I'm going to have to go through this again at a later date. But let me get it all concentrated into one area and get a penny up next to it, and you can actually see how much this is. There's nothing like a little bit of Michigan gold to put a smile on your face. And that is a pretty good amount of gold for Michigan. It was a really good day. Very grateful to have gotten the opportunity to go out there and do some prospecting. It's always a good time. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that thumbs up button and consider becoming a subscriber to the channel. We'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.